And good afternoon. This is Woody Collins, and this is another day of talking about the Congo. And today's subject we will be talking about is climate control, climate change, that is. And what I want to do is to welcome you and also ask you to, if you're getting like this topic or other topics that we presented, to make sure you tell your friends and neighbors so that they can be involved in talking about the Congo also, and they can also participate. We are excited about that. So let's go ahead and get started. And I appreciate everybody for stopping by today. And we will go ahead and get started. The first thing of it is probably for a while, I've been burying my head in the sand. You know, the pictures of people when they bury their head in the sand, uh, you kind of want to not think about things, not do something about it. And climate change, I recently heard someone describe it as climate disease because it is a slow death of the climate as we know it, and then with just as in your body when you have a disease, it slowly starts changing what you can do, what you can't do, and also other you know things happen. So that was to me a real eye opener and a kind of new way to look at this whole area of climate disease. So that's what I'm going to be using throughout. And it's a disease of our uh, climate as we know of it as now, because a lot of us have talked about the climate, especially the Amazon and the Congo River as being along. So it is a body. And so when you really think about it, there's parts of our anatomy and geography that serves other purposes, just as in your body. So, finally, what made me get off the duff and at least think about it more is that Bill Gates came out with a book a couple weeks ago, and I decided I wasn't going to buy the book because it was a little bit out of my swim lane. But I may have to go back and buy it because one of the things that he discussed today was in a short video of the impact of climate change or this climate disease on farmers in Africa and around the world. And I thought about it and I thought, you're right. We have seen it not only in Africa, but we also seen it here in the United States. Whenever we have big rains, cold weather, things that's not normal, it upsets things. Sometime here in Indiana, the season starts late because the fields are too wet, or we may have a drought, things like that. So those are going to have a big effect on the Congo. And here's the reason why. Number one is Congo, especially the rural farmers, uh, is based upon nature. And when I say based upon nature, currently they have two planting seasons. Those are based upon the rainfall. So if the rain shifts and starts raining later, or a shorter period of time, or a longer period of time, that's going to affect the way their crops because they don't use irrigation. So therefore, if there is crops to be irrigated during a drought, how are they going to do that? They can't do it. How about if they have too much water? Then it's how they're going to get into the fields, how they're going to drain it off. I see that as a big problem now that you can see in the cities, especially with the new cities are growing up and more land is being used for houses, and you have more of a runoff, and therefore you have less area for the water to soak into. So you have big erosion problems, and that's where it's coming from, is because of this growth in the size of the cities is bigger now, and so therefore, when you put a house on a piece of land, that's an area that you're covering up that would normally soak the impact of rain. So I'm not sure they're getting more rain or less rain, but I do know that they have the erosion problem now. But that's not could be directly indirectly related to the climate. Finally, it's going to impact the people. Food security is going to increase, and which that's bad. Meaning to say that now we have people that don't know where their next meal is coming from. But what is going to happen when those small farmers can't produce as much food? You're going to see, number one, food prices go up, and people's salary, because they don't have, you know, jobs and stuff like that, they're going to be able to afford less food. They have crises now when there is a shortage of corn. A lot of people cannot afford to buy corn so that they can pound it into flour and make their bedia every day. And fufu, whatever the traditional staple is. That happens today. And if we have a prolonged period of a drought that, say, potentially wipes out a growing season, that's going to impact a lot because the average person can't afford imported foods. So therefore, by not being able to afford imported foods, how are they going to eat? And you're going to have big areas of starvation and malnutrition. And the most impact that would have is not on the grown-ups, but on the children. So, so with the climate disease, we could see some big changes uh, in the shift of climate, rainfall in particular for the farmers, and that's going to have an impact. You may see if the rainfall becomes later, it's going to impact. If it comes short, less rain, it's going to impact. So whichever way it happens, it's going to impact on the farmers and the economy and people food security in the Congo. So I'd like to thank you all for stopping by today. Remember to tell your friends to like. Uh, if you like this, to please like it, and also tell your friends to subscribe and to share it with them so that they can hear about some of the things that we're facing with in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. So thank you very much, and we will talk with you tomorrow at 3 o'clock for another episode of Talking About the Congo. So take care, and remember to let's get this pandemic under control, which is another disease, and they're expecting more diseases to like that to happen because of this climate disease that we're in. But let's wear our masks, let's socially distance ourselves, and let's wash our hands as frequently as possible. Take care, and we will talk with you later.